Hello, welcome to NPS, where I explore how to enact a new political system, a system that is more democratic, less extreme, and less influenced by lobbyists. So what do I mean? Well, NPS does things differently. Your elected NPS rep would not belong to a party. He would not vote as the party instructs. He would vote as his electors tells him to vote on each vote individually, because his electors have an app that allows them to express their opinions on each bill that comes across his plate. This simple change would remove the need for political parties, and yes, once mature, it could actually make political parties obsolete. This is video 3 in my series, where I'll be discussing where NPS could be applicable and a bit on why. Previous video was on implementation, where I discuss how this idea can be implemented quickly and easily without any rule changes required. If you like this concept, please like the video, subscribe. I'm doing videos regularly. Hype and comment. Let's get into it. Now, a bit on why I did this. I'm a Canadian, and I was looking at problems in Canadian politics and how to solve them. I've always lived in safe seats. What this means is, before I vote, and I'm only asked to vote once every 4 years, I pretty much already know what the result will be before the election even starts. This is very discouraging. For 4 decades, I would say maybe twice my vote actually impacted what was happening. The rest of the time, really, if I'd voted or not, it made no impact. And that's horrible for democracy. The other thing is, I'm often in the middle of the liberal-conservative divide. I would like to pick a bit from here and a bit from there. Party politics doesn't allow that very neatly. Third, I feel very unconnected to Canadian politics. I might have opinions, but there's no way I can express those opinions in a way that actually matters. And the final part, the whole system is so outdated. 2026, and I am voting using a pencil and paper. The whole party system is ridiculously outdated. We should be doing better at this point. So I started looking for a solution. I had some hope for proportional representation, but A, the solution doesn't fix much, it's marginally better, and B, it requires rule changes. And guess what? The established parties like where they are, and they're not going to vote for something that is against their interests. We shouldn't expect them to. So I came out forming the idea of this new political system that does not require any rule changes from the existing parties before we start implementation. So now I'm thinking about, where can we do this? Where geographically could it work? When I'm considering this question, my focus is on the near term. The idea, the time when you get your first people elected, the first bunch, 10, 20 elected. I'm not talking about what the geography limits would be when the NPS system is mature. There's lots of people already elected, and they're an established part of the electoral scenery. Then the rules will be different. Okay, so where? Obviously, to start with, I focused on Canada. First thing I said was not municipal. I'm not saying this can't work in municipal politics. I just think it's too small to be the place where you start trying it out. Which brought me to Canadian federal or provincial. Federal is good, but the riding size are 80 to 100,000 people per riding, and that I think is a little bit big. Whereas if you look at Canadian provincial ridings, they're generally smaller, 30 to 45,000 voters. I prefer smaller because you would have a subset of those voters who would actually use the app. which would be optimistically 3,000 to 5,000 people if 10% of the voters used it, which might be quite optimistic. But my focus is to keep that number representative, so a fair size number, but not too big, because you have to fight bots on all of the users of the app. And if you've got 3,000 to 5,000 voters who are all in one riding, I think it will be a manageable problem to fight bots in the early stages of the implementation, which I think, so that is my logic for saying that the right size is probably Canadian provincial. Canadian federal, it's about twice the size, it'll be a bigger problem, so that's probably not ideal to start with. The Senate is not voted on, so they're out. Looking more globally, Britain and Australia, this is 100% applicable. The sizes of their ridings are about the same, so that'll work. U.S. Congress is bigger. There's about 7 times, like 760,000 people per district. So I would say you don't start going there until the idea is mature and working. U.S. Senate, too big. You're looking statewide voting in the millions. And that comes up. So NPS is applicable for legislatures. So it leans better for parliamentary politics. The executive is not somebody who has bill after bill coming across their desk. They have day-to-day decisions, executive decisions. So NPS is probably not the best system for voting in executives like presidents. So this is applicable towards legislatures to start with. Executives would be something to look at once the idea is mature and you're looking at NPS groups forming governments. Now, looking at legislatures globally, besides Britain, Australia, and the US, legislatures are everywhere. Almost every democratic government has a legislature of some kind. And the NPS idea can be exported globally. The structure supports it. I spoke about the structure in the previous video. The NPS Foundation can give the same support to everyone everywhere. The app can easily support any language. The content creators are local, and the representatives are local. So all of this can spread out and be used all over the world, though I would say I would need volunteers or from the various places to get the idea started. It's not something I'm going to focus on Canada because that's my local area. So this gives an idea of where NPS can be applied. Previous video I talked about how the implementation would work. Next video will be on the app. If you like this idea, as I said, please like, hype, subscribe. We want to hear your comments. Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee links are in the description. I hope to hear from you soon, and thank you for your time. Good day.